Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church again. It's good to be with you. Here it is Wednesday, the last week of the year 2020. One more day, and this year will be ended. And for some of you, even me, we'll be glad to see it go. But a lot of good things have happened in this past year. A lot of bad things, but a lot of good things too. Many people have found new ways to relate to their family and their friends. Many people have found new needs that they had that they didn't know. Many people have found new strength upon which to depend on. When all of the other things are taken away, or most of them are, it's really good that there's something still here. And I wanted to talk about that with you this morning from Psalm 16, verses 1 and 2. Here's what it says. Keep me safe, O God, for I have come to you for refuge. I said to the Lord, you are my master. Every good thing I have comes from you. We've prayed a lot in this house, and I'm sure others have, to keep people safe. I'd like to tell you that we have a 100% success rate of that, but there are 300 and some thousand people in this country who have died from the virus, and that's not a number to be proud of. So obviously everybody hasn't been safe physically. Now, sometimes it's been people who flaunted the disease and ridiculed it and said it doesn't matter. Well, that's one side of the story. Then the others who are paranoid and won't go out of their house, and even some of those get sick. So we really don't know all these things. We just know that we have to try to stay safe. And this psalmist says the same thing. Keep me safe, O God, for I have come to you for refuge. You know, there's so much in life that we can't predict. There's so much in life that doesn't turn out the way we wanted or hoped or imagined. And there's so many things that want to destroy us. Life really is quite fragile. A tragedy that happens can haunt us for the rest of our lives. Uh, a relationship that went sour can keep us from enjoying the company of others. A sickness that we got as a young child can bug us all of our lives. My son has asthma. I don't know why he has asthma, but he does. He's now 30 years old, and he's had times that struggled with asthma. And you know what? If he lives to be 100, he's going to struggle with asthma the rest of his life. I have some friends who had childhood diabetes, and that's a terrible disease, and they've struggled with it their whole life. So what do we put our hopes in? Do we put it in modern medicine? Do we put it in our ability to take charge of our lives? Do we put it in things? Do we put it in terms of our status and statute in the community? Well, the psalmist says no. Psalmist says to put our strength and our safety in the hands of God. Now we have to do our part. I don't mean to exclude that piece of it. But he says that keep me safe, O God, for I have come to you in refuge. I've come to you, God, to be supported, to be strengthened, to be taken care of. In those moments when we are hopeless or helpless, God is there. And then the psalmist goes on to say I said to the Lord, you are my master. Every good thing I have comes from you. To be a master means to be in charge. Now, I know a lot of people think they're in charge of their own life. And to some degree, that's probably true. I know some people whose plans seem like they've always worked out, just as they had predicted, just as they had decided. I know many others whose plans worked out sometimes, but not always. And I know a few whose plans never worked out. But it doesn't mean that life isn't enjoyable and fulfilling if our plans don't work out. Because ultimately, we are not in charge. God is. And only when we seek and come to know God's plan and follow that can we be assured that our plans are going to work out. And he goes on to say, every good thing I have comes from you. Now, I know everybody doesn't recognize that. Some of you listening to me may not recognize that. But that doesn't make it untrue. You see, I watch the news and I see so many families who are hurting. A lady last night said she hadn't found a job since last April. I can't imagine that. And her benefits are running out. She says, I don't know how I'm going to find food. And these number of folks who haven't been able to pay rent for months because their job disappeared. It wasn't their fault. And I know it wasn't the politicians' fault either. It was something that nobody can control. And how do they make it? I don't know. I'm not in that position, and I'm thankful that I'm not. But the reason I'm not is not because I'm smarter or I'm better or I'm more educated. The reason I'm not is beyond my imagination, really, because God is the source of everything I have. Okay, I've worked hard. You probably have too, for the things I have and you have, for the opportunities I've experienced and you have. If I hadn't worked hard, probably those things wouldn't be there. I'm not suggesting we just sit around, wait for somebody to give it to us. But it's important to recognize, where did those things come from? Yes, I worked hard, but God gave me the brain in order to accomplish some of these things. My parents gave me a heritage of having been born in this country. Many, many others in the world are born where there's no opportunity at all. You know, God has given me everything. When I tore my rotator cuff, I became amazed at how much and how important those four little muscles in the top of your shoulder are. And after almost a whole year, I'm still struggling with it. It's getting better, but it's not back to where it was. It may never get back to where it was. We can't ever get back to where God's perfect creation started. But nevertheless, as this year winds down, we can do something. We can do something really important. We can understand that God is our refuge and that He is the giver of everything we have. So I hope today you'll think about this. Look at your own life. Examine it. You don't have to tell anybody else what you found. You don't have to tell me. But look at your own life. Do you recognize that God is the source of everything you have? And if you do, that should make you appreciative. If you don't, well, you might take another look. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day. If you have a need or a prayer concern, let us know. We'll do everything we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.